Hello, thoughtful parents. This is Kira Deno from Sweet Spot Parent Coaching. Today I'm going to talk to you about validation, the most powerful tool that you're not using right now to build the dream relationship you want with your child. I'm a parent coach and pediatrician, and I help parents build their dream relationship with their child built on connection, trust, love, peace, cooperation. Validation is this idea that your feelings, your needs, your beliefs, and your thoughts make sense. Okay, so when I validate you, I say things like, that makes sense to me. I see why this is important to you. I understand why you would feel that way. You make sense to me. Your feelings make sense to me. And that can be hard as parents, right? So why is it hard for us to let our children know that their feelings and needs make sense to us, right? So as parents, we are afraid that if we validate, it means that we agree with our child, right? So if our child says, I don't want to go to bed, and we say, that makes sense that you're having so much fun that you don't want to go to bed, we're basically may have a fear that we are giving up some of our authority as parents. We're basically saying, you're right, child, your perspective is correct and mine is wrong. But that's actually not the case. So validation is not about saying that our child is right and we're wrong. The other reason that we may be afraid to validate our child is that we may not have received that same kind of validation growing up. So when we see our child, let's say, in really strong negative feelings, sadness, disappointment, anger, fear, right? So these are the negative emotions. We may be in a state of fear ourselves. So we may have internalized beliefs that these are not safe emotions to feel. And so our overwhelming feeling when our child is in these kind of feelings is, this is not safe. I need to fix this emotion. I need to, minimize, distract. So we are carrying this baggage around kind of our own discomfort. And so it's very hard for us to sit with our child in their negative feelings. And this is one of the things that I really help parents with. We dig into, how the parent is feeling in that moment with their child, and how can they hold the space for their child to be in that emotion without the parent needing to fix or minimize it. So validation is so powerful. I think it's more powerful than most of us realize. If you are familiar with attachment science, this is the way that young children build a connection with their caregiver, and how they establish that connection is either safe or unsafe. This really is part of this work of validation, that someone is acknowledging what is true for us, that they are attentive to our feelings and needs, and that they are able to be there for us in the ways that we need them to be. Now, they don't need to be perfect. Attachment science is not about being the perfect mind reader, but it is about showing up for your child and being attentive to what is going on for our child. So let's look at the powerful response that happens when we receive validation. So when someone says to us, either verbally or non-verbally, you make sense to me, your feelings make sense to me, your thoughts make sense to me, we get a very powerful relaxation response. So we are leaving that fight or flight response and going into a really strong relaxation response. Our frontal cortex is able to go online as we leave that fear state. And we're really able to cooperate with other people. We're able to connect. We're able to be open to what they're saying to us. Okay? So you can imagine for a child who is talking to their parent, how powerful it is when they can relax into this cooperation state, when they're open to their parent, open to connection, open to, receiving teaching from their parent. So this is a powerful, powerful tool. So the truth is that most of us didn't learn validation as children. And in fact, most of us have learned a variation of invalidation. Sounds like you're going to be fine. It's not a big deal. Just get over it. Or it might sound like, well, that's nothing compared to what happened to me. There was this time that it could have been worse. There's always a silver lining. And so invalidation is this idea that we don't have a real right to our feelings, needs, beliefs, and thoughts. And honestly, this comes from a good place. Most people, when they're invalidating others, are really trying to get the person to see the positive, right? Oh, it's going to be okay. It'll be okay. And we're coming from a good place when we do that. We want the other person not to suffer. But what it does is it creates this feeling that they are not entitled to their feelings, thoughts, and beliefs. It creates a feeling that they don't make sense, that their feelings do not make sense. And it actually, when we learn this invalidation, it's often because we have this feeling that our negative emotions are not okay. So it's not okay to be angry. It's not okay to be afraid or disappointed. And so because of that discomfort with those emotions, we're trying so hard to just rush them and move them through. We do this with our children. We do this with other people. And we even do it with ourselves. And it is so common for us to say things like, I shouldn't feel this way. I know it doesn't make any sense for me to feel this way. I know I shouldn't care about this, right? So we're invalidating even ourselves. And again, this comes from this belief or feeling that it's not safe for us to have negative emotions. So we're really going to work hard to allow space for even negative emotions for ourselves and for other people, and especially for our child. We're going to really show compassion for ourselves, for how hard it is as a parent to see our child in pain, right? How hard it is to see them sad or disappointed or afraid, right? These are hard things for us to see and experience as parents. So we're going to show a lot of compassion for ourselves. We're going to slowly inch towards allowing our child to have that feeling. It's going to come in and come out. And as parents, we can just be present with it and let our child know that we accept them, even with this negative emotion. Right? You make sense to me. It's okay that you feel this way. And this is the work that I help parents do. I'd love to talk to you if this resonates for you. And we can remind ourselves as parents that validating is not saying, I agree and I feel the same way. This is different. But it is saying, I accept you. I accept your feelings and needs and beliefs unconditionally, which is a very, very powerful tool in building this dream relationship with our child. So I'm Kira Deno from Sweet Spot Parent Coaching. If this resonates for you, if you are trying to build your dream relationship with your child, I would love to chat with you. Please reach out. I look forward to talking to you.